Wait a second.
I'm sorry, Kenny, you're going to have to translate for me because
Okay, no problem.
中文好差啊。
Just make it quick, please. Make it quick, please.
Thank you very much for coming. I find it very interesting and actually brought many memories for me listening to Suki and the other two dudes which I never met before. I'm
佢
sorry.
佢話聽嗰幾位其他嘅大師聽翻嗰啲嘢咧，都係好有趣味，因為好多回憶嘅。走翻轉頭啊！
But I thought what I would like to talk about with you
我記得添，係個咪呢度，我企上嚟啦，好嘛？啊 OK， sorry， go on。
what I'd like to share with you, perhaps something that would benefit you in how you're working today. What I learned first from being in Vidal's company in the 80s in Los Angeles.
佢話喺1980年咧，佢當初同佢哋一齊做嘢時，希望今晚可以同大家一齊分享，對你哋有好處有幫助啦。
Something that some of you may have understood during this talk and perhaps some of you didn't, but Vidal was the first hairstylist to create a brand.
有啲人今晚嘅講座或者會聽得明，或者有啲會聽唔明咧，就係Vidal本身咧係第一個髮型師去創造一個品牌嘅。
Before that, everybody looked down on hairdressers.
喺之前咧，大家對髮型行業嚟講係睇低㗎，飛髮仔嘛。
And when I went into hairdressing, my father spat blood when he found out I was going to be a hairdresser.
佢入行嘅時間，佢阿爸聽到就感覺到都係流晒牙血嗰隻嚟嘅。
So he was my inspiration for going into hairdressing.
Sassoon 俾到阿 Kim 好多啟示，令到佢加強信心入呢行。
Unfortunately, by the time I got to London, Vidal had already moved to America, and I worked with under Christopher Brooker.
咁Kim 去英國學藝嘅時間咧，嗰陣時就話 Vidal 就已經去咗美國發展佢事業。咁佢就同呢個 Christopher Brooker 咧，就頭先Suki 大力推薦過去啦嚇 ，Christopher Brooker。
But I was a rebel.
佢話我係好叛逆嘅Kim。
I kept failing.
Still now, yes, still now.
I kept failing my test.
佢話佢成日都係即係唔合格嘅。
It never was perfect enough.
佢話永遠都做得唔好嘅。
So I gave him the finger.
佢就俾咗隻中指，佢話我有中指做人嘅。
And I left and went to Paris.
佢話佢就離開咗Sassoon就去咗巴黎。
But what I learned at Sassoon's, what I still use today and in my company, is the principles and disciplines that Sassoon had all the way through.
佢話當初佢跟Sassoon學到嘅嘢，到現在佢都仲喺公司裏邊經常用到，就係嗰個所謂嘅 discipline 啦，就係嗰個紀律同埋佢嗰啲嘅原則嘅。
It was my way or the highway. That's what what Vidal said. In the States, he used that Americanism. It's a my way or the highway. That's what they say in the States.
Sassoon 當時喺 salon 裏面同啲 staff 講，佢話一係就跟我做，一係就你行出去嗰個高速公路，即係叫走人，就冇得揀嘅，一定係跟佢嘅方法 ，my way or highway，right？
I still use that principle in the way I run my business today.
佢今日都係用呢個咁嘅原則啦去管理佢嘅生意。
Because today hairdressing has changed, as we know, and it's very individual.
今時今日啲髮型嘅事業咧，好唔同啊，同以前嚟講變得好自我啦。
The team spirit is not quite there anymore.
今日好難睇到有一種團隊精神喺鋪頭裏面嘅。
And I think that that's something that we still enjoy in my company, and I hope some of you still have that team spirit in your companies because it makes the whole thing, just like Vidal, feeling of family. You feel like you belong.
佢話阿 Kim 希望咧，大家可以即係重新去探討呢個團隊精神呢個重要性，因為喺佢間鋪頭嚟講，佢係好着緊呢樣嘢嘅。佢覺得一個團隊精神就好似一間屋企一家人咁樣，你翻去做嘢嘅時間有嗰種歸屬感嘅，好重要。希望大家唔好忘記呢個重要性，團隊精神。
Too many of us today are so worried about the money, we forget about what is right.
我哋好多人每日翻工或者係開鋪頭嘅時間都係擔心揾錢，但係忘記咗我哋應該要做啲咩嘢嘅。
The customer wants to do it this way, and many hairdressers just do what the client requests.
好多客人佢入到鋪頭嚟講，要求啲髮型師做某個款，髮型師就好跟從啲客人嘅意見咧去跟佢哋做嘢嘅。
Vidal revolutionized hairdressing by saying to the client, "My way or the highway."
Vidal 嚟講咧，佢亦都係用同樣個原則，就話你一日就跟我，對嗰啲客嚟講咧，你就跟我個款式去話俾你聽，你應該做啲咩嘢，唔係我跟你要你話俾佢聽點樣做。咁即係話咧，跟我方式，一係咧你就出門口，唔好嚟做我客。
If you look at fashion today, the leading brands that are still relevant as far as fashion are the ones with a very strong image. I'll give you an example. Chanel.
世界上依家嚟講仲係好有顯赫一時，仲係好犀利嘅品牌，時裝品牌 Chanel 佢就係代表呢啲咁嘅精神。
You don't go into Chanel looking for Jean-Paul Gaultier.
你唔會入去 Chanel 揾呢個 Jean-Paul Gaultier 第二個品牌。
So Sassoon did this. You don't go to Sassoon and looking for a set towel.
你入到一間 Sassoon 嘅 salon 嚟講，佢唔會欣賞你嚟去做第二啲唔係 Sassoon 嘅嘢。你嚟得 Sassoon 就要做 Sassoon。
Yeah, and one thing that I forgot to mention, he was the first hairdresser to cut hair wet. Before that, all of us, including me, were taught to cut hair dry.
Kim 就話咧，佢係 Sassoon 係第一位咧係濕剪嘅。我哋好多人，包括佢在內喺當時嚟講，佢哋都係乾剪嘅。Sassoon 係第一位用 wet 去 cut 嘅濕
And
剪
that
嘅。
was revolutionary. We didn't know how to cut. When I first went to Sassoon's, I had no idea what I was doing because I had no idea about the technique.
佢話喺呢方面嚟講咧，佢真係好有革命性嘅精神嚟㗎，即係喺佢個剪髮嘅一方面啊。咁Kim 咪當然謙虛啦，係咪
So, to me, what I learned out of all of it, I'm going to wrap up now because I'll be boring everyone to death.
No, you got 10-15 minutes to go.
唔好搞錯㗎，俾佢啦，我冇影相嘅，冇 video， 乜都冇。你死啊你！而家真係。To me, you know, when I look back at the memories, what these guys brought up, it actually it's empowering me to go back to being stronger with my opinions. I think all of us in the room have our own characters and our own way of doing something, and yet we are pressured by the economies that we're faced with. I'm sure all of us sitting in the room are faced with the changing economy.
Kim 佢話睇翻頭先嗰啲短片啲視頻咧，就令到佢好有一個想法，就去再做強啲佢自己嗰個即係嗰個見解喺鋪頭裏面。佢話我哋今日咧好多人喺鋪頭裏面咧，因為嗰個經濟好難搞，大家翻到鋪頭咧都好頭痕嘅，好多時咧都係冇咗自己嗰個想法嘅。
I believe that the only way we're going to survive through this crisis is by winning on the quality and not on price.
Kim 相信今時今日我哋要經歷嘅困難，經濟上困難咧，點樣可以過渡到咧？要靠我哋嗰個質素，要改善我哋質素，提升我哋質素，唔係將我哋嘅價錢咧去作為一個注碼同大家鬥你死我活。質素係緊要過我哋嗰個價錢嘅。
Just like what I learned at Sassoon, we are not on sale.
Sassoon 嚟講，佢話我哋唔會大減價嘅。
Never put the price down, ever. The whole time I was at, the short time I was at Sassoon's, but what I learned from them, it was self-respect. If you're Sassoon trained, Sassoon price, if they don't like it, don't come.
佢話佢喺Sassoon段時間唔係好長，但係佢學到好多，即係一個對自己嘅尊重 self-respect 呢個好緊要嘅，因為你冇咗個自我嘅尊重嗰個時間嚟講咧，你好難喺做嘢嘅時間咧，你做到你個表現同埋你嘅價錢出嚟㗎。
So, what lives on? There's some great memories with some great people who built the whole team that built the Sassoon empire. But what lives on is his legacy of about respect. Respect for yourself first.
Sassoon 雖然已經係離開咗幾年啦，同埋佢亦都係即係佢個即係最旺盛嘅時期都係好幾十年前，但係佢嗰種精神啊，佢嗰種即係自我價值對自我尊重嗰種精神咧，仍然係喺我哋每個人心目裏面。 呢個係喺阿 Kim 嚟講係非常之重要嘅，因為我哋如果對自己冇咗嗰種自我價值或者自我尊重咧，你好難生存。
We have a policy with us in the company that we will give it for free before I put the price down.
佢話佢哋喺公司裏面有一個做法咧，就係佢話就算我哋係免費送俾客人一個服務，我哋都唔會將個價錢降低。
There's always somebody going to be cheaper. You're never going to win on price.
因為當你減價嘅時間，永遠有人會平過你嘅，你冇法子係最平嘅。
Anyway, what's cheaper than free?
咁即係比邊個可以仲平過呢個免費嘅咧嚇？
You agree?
同唔同意大家？
We all should get together and band together and never put the price down, only up. Okay?
Kim 希望呼籲大家咧一齊團結啦，就向嗰個所謂嘅質素嗰方面進發，就唔好向個價錢大家互相鬥價咧，呢個咧只會令到我哋嘅行業大家係玩殘嘅啫。如果大家喺個質素去競爭時間咧，呢個行業嘅機會咧一定係喺樹嘅。
Anyway, I was wondering, is anyone in the audience that has some questions they want to ask of us? Because I'm sure that I don't want to talk all night.
好，Kim 提議話有冇邊個有問題想問啊？舉手問啦，好嘛
I think Ben Lam wants to ask some questions. He looks very bored sitting there listening to me.
係咪啊 Ben？俾個問題啊嘛。
冇問題啊。Just listen. I'm learning. All from you.
俾錢啦。
又講錢咯。
有冇邊個有問題想舉手？可以問啦，係。
King，hello。即係我想問下點解你可以做到亞洲最貴嘅髮型師？
係嘛 ？How come you can achieve the position being the most expensive hairstylist in Asia?
What's the L'Oreal say? Because I'm worth it.
萊雅有講過我值得擁有啊嘛，佢話。But that is not the answer.
I think you have to ask my clients that who pay. I'm now charging